This is Poehemian Poetry Podcast with your host Eva X. Today I'm here with John E Word Slinger, also known as the founder of Poetry E-Train. To start off on a more general note, can you tell me about yourself as a poet?
I've been writing poetry since October 15th, 1970. 87. I was born in 70, September 15th, oh my bad.
Yeah.
And I was at a family picnic, and everybody was having fun. I brought paper and a pen. I don't know why, but I did, and ever since then I've been writing poetry, but I have found out that poetry has been writing me, though.
And now, to be more specific, how did the Poetry E-Train come to be?
Well, that is a very interesting question. It's a combination of a whole bunch of things. I lived in Franklin, Kentucky in 2008. I was having a hard time there, and I was on my cell phone with my best friend, the poet Madeline, and I told her that I wished that there was a train here in town because I have connections in roofing, Chicago, Seattle, and if I could get on a train, I can work there or anywhere else, and I could be back home weekends or overnight if there was a high-speed train. Then, in that same phone conversation, I told her that I was going to this antique store. So I went in there, and I found a book called American Literature, written by Alfonso G. Newcomer, and it was published in 1905. It's a documentary of poets and writers from the 18th century, and it's an awesome book. And on that night, I read half of it. That planted the seed in my head between that conversation in that day. Then, on a poetry website that I was on with her and about 4,000 other people for a long time, was having problems and they were going under. I had things going on there like School of Poetry, and on the site there, I had that going on there, and I had a class there called American Literature, and I organized it from poets from each state. The site was going down. Me and a bunch of other poets were trying to find ideas to help them out and all this, and it didn't work. January 7th, 2011, I had all these ideas going on and all this, and I was, I guess you could say, stressed out a little bit over the whole ordeal. Well, I was in bed, and I woke up, and this voice came to my head, said, Google poetry, video, and train. And I did. I found an open avenue. There wasn't no poetrytrain.com. There wasn't anything on Facebook and all this. So I'm like, okay, well, then I have to take advantage of this. And also from that, on one side, we were going to do the same thing, but it was called something else. So that's how it was mainly born.
So what would the mission statement of the Poetry E-Train be?
That I haven't written out yet. To bring the past with the future, poetry and the railroad. But I do see the opportunity with website to organize the internet, poetry, and the railroad, because it's all scattered everywhere, and information is lost in the corners of the internet here and there, and it's everywhere, but it takes forever to find it. So me and Dustin are going to organize it somehow where go on the site and type in anywhere, and to bring information of it everywhere and anywhere. I don't know how long it's going to take, but that'll happen one of these days. Also, there is a mission that we're doing, very important. My mother is blind, and she reads audiobooks all the time, every night. So I talked to her as her librarian, and there's hardly any poetry on audio anywhere in the U.S. or anywhere in the world. So we're going to put together a team as publishers licensed with BMI and Harry Fox, and we're going to send a young man to audio engineering school, and they were going to open that up with the libraries because I've already talked to them, so we're going to work on bringing poetry to the blind, too.
Can you tell me about the Poetry E-Train ebook you've been working on?
That's a fun thing. It'll be an ebook and a hardcover and a paperback and also audio, hopefully. That is fun and it's very complicated because I'm weaving the 18th century with the 21st and going back to the 19th century into the 20th. And it's all fiction. Storyline, there's Red and Andy and Charlie. They're on a train from Chicago to Georgia and all the way around the U.S. finding poets in the 21st century and poets that are on Facebook profile, and there's other ones coming and on the channel, and they have to rest, and they go to sleep, and they have dreams, and they go back in time, 18th century when the road was built, and there's characters in there that with them the whole journey, and then they have to wake up and do business, and they have conversations on the train about the poets in the 20th century. And then, after it's all done, I'm going back one more time for a different section in the book, and it's about the poetry and from the 18th century to the 21st of Native American poets. So it's really complicated, but it's fun to write. It takes me a long time, but I love it.
Who or what has influenced you to spread the love of poetry in such a beautiful way?
I have to go back to my roots at first, and I'll go on down the line. I like the words from Nikki Sixx and Axl Rose, Anthrax, Metallica, Megadeth. Then I got into music also, and I got 400 songs that's hidden from the world that isn't on the internet. That's safe. I got to put away. Then I started to read Poe, Emily Dickinson's books, all of them, and then I moved on to everyone else from there ever since 2005. I've been going back into the past, basically.
What should one expect from Poetry E-Train for the next couple of months?
I don't have expectations too high because we're all limited by life, but I want everybody to have fun, be open, appreciate each other and everybody's work, and don't be shy or anything like that. I am grading the poets that are hidden and the ones that are known, and there's poets on there that are shy, but I think you can know, be known. Everyone does. All that is a complicated issue also in itself. I can only bring everybody together in one arena and hope for the best on that.
It was really nice talking to you about Poetry E-Train itself. I know there's plenty of places you can find various videos now on YouTube. You even have a Facebook group. So I will post the links for everybody to check that out. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed it, Eva. And your poetry and videos, I enjoyed it a lot. And I also admire you for helping out the poets. And you always have a place on poetry.com for what you do, okay?
Thank you so much, and I'm glad there's people like you who promote poetry the way you do, even if the going gets tough.